Hello and welcome back to Pride of Anglia, here at the start of our 4th season as a manager and of course our first full campaign with Northampton Town. Unless we are tempted away of course. Having rescued the Cobblers from possible relegation with ease, this year my attention is focused squarely on promotion, be it through the playoffs or automatic places. But it's clear with so many people wanting to leave or just being terrible, a major squad overhaul is required this summer. Now it's safe to say we haven't really got much to work with here, so we have to be a bit creative. I trigger extensions for squad players Liam Cross and Josh Flanagan. They're not very good, but they are cheap. Josh Feeney was a definite bright spot last season, and we are able to renew his loan from Aston Villa with a considerably lower wage contribution, which is nice. The leading attacking light was Jed Garner, and we are able to secure him to a permanent deal as his contract with Fleetwood is expiring. Hopefully his good form can continue. I wanted to keep Sean McWilliams, and he was still under contract, but he was unhappy following the club's relegation the previous season and would have kicked off big time if I hadn't let him go to Blackpool in the Championship, which I suppose is fair enough. We get £375,000 for him, we could maybe have got a little bit more. Sean Brisley, who was not getting a new contract anyway, opts to retire. Liam Rydhall signs a new contract, but everyone else with expiring deals is released. McGowan, Flores and Guthrie of course refused to sign new deals anyway, with Alex Reid also departing alongside a large amount of fringe players who have never been mentioned at all. And as ever, until we're at a club with money, once the clock ticks past contract expiration o'clock, we get the trials in. I wonder if it'll be easier to get the players I want in now we're at a league club. Probably not, but we do need to actually sign some players soon. The season isn't that far away. Some guy released all the goalkeepers, so we really need to get at least one in. Peter Jameson looks pretty solid as a backup at least from York. David Titov, formerly of Brentford, joins from Crawley as our new right back to replace McGowan. He's a Latvian international and looks extremely well rounded. We pick up Nelson Kumbene after his release from Norwich for a bit more solidity and creativity at the base of midfield. Less good though is that our head of youth development joins the old director of football at Hull City, and Mickey Van Sass, who's been released by his parent club Manchester City, rejects us for Heerenveen, which to be honest I can understand. Jordan Maguire-Drew does though join to bolster the right wing. His technicals are good, but he has joined from Woking back in the National League South. We are getting some players, but there really aren't many options available to us. Elkin Badgett joins on loan from Ipswich as our new left-sided centre-back. He's an Indonesian international, which means international breaks are going to be held this season. We tried to sign Francis Wilson on a free from Arsenal, but he joined Millwall instead. But they have been kind enough to loan him to us as an option in the Mazzala role. Liam Jones is another regen signing, having been released by Liverpool. Could be amazing, maybe not from the off though. Dale Gorman joins from Yeovil as the new box-to-box midfielder. Clearly a downgrade on McWilliams, but the best option we can go for. Callum Gribben may not actually be good enough, but he's a nostalgic pickup from FM yesteryear I just couldn't say no to. And amid all the transfer activity, apparently the club is attracting interest itself. Please can any takeover bid wait until the deals are done? I don't want a transfer embargo. Tyrese Omotoye would have been an absolute superstar signing from Norwich, but despite being tempted, he picks Exeter instead, as they apparently have a stronger squad, but clearly not based on last season Tyrese. Ah well. England then go and win Euro 2024, beating Germany on penalties in the final. So in this fictional scenario, as annoyed as I likely would be about Omotoye rejecting us, I would probably get over it quite quickly. We do manage to sign DJ Campton Sturridge from Aston Villa. He can play up front, but I can certainly see him adapting to the left wing, whether he knows that yet or not. Tom Dallison joins to bolster the defence. He looks capable at left back or left centre back. Daniel Ogwuru is then loaned from Manchester City, could be a bit of a bargain of the summer, only £300 a week, and looks very good to compete with Garner. We already signed Liam Jones, but Chris Leonard also joins on a free from Everton as another high potential keeper. I'm concerned we don't really have a clear first choice yet though. Conor McCovey signs from Fulham as hopefully the last piece of our defensive squad depth this season, and then with left wing still concerning me and with virtually no options available, finally Hull let me loan Josh Hines. They wanted him to play as a striker, but he's clearly better on the flank. And then probably our final signing, unless a better goalkeeper becomes available, is Ashley Nadeson. Now this does mean we have 3 strikers, which we probably don't need, but they can always fill in on the wings too. Basically our attack was awful last year and this will hopefully address it. The former Crawley man is a bit of an FM legend for me too. I had a save with York where he, and I'm pretty sure Callum Gribben, destroyed lives on a weekly basis. Even a quarter of that would be nice. So in the end, just the 16 new signings then. Hopefully you got all that. Let's hope they gel together quickly, eh? A total squad rebuild for just a few £100 in loan fees. Not bad in my book, although as said, goalkeeper concerns me. Oh, and the takeover is fake news apparently. Our former employers continue to go from strength to strength in our absence, by the way. We could have signed a few familiar faces, but they just aren't really good enough for this level, unfortunately. Oh, but our under-18s assistant manager gets poached by Derby, and I do know just who to replace him with. Welcome back, Nicky. The club sells 2,548 season tickets, which is okay, I guess, while our new signings see us classified as the 17th best team in the league, which I think is a bit harsh, really. The board only want mid-table, but I think we can surpass that. Josh Feeney does make the Media Dream 11 though, despite their assessment of us as a whole, so that's at least encouraging. Our first game of the season is, fittingly, given they stole the striker I wanted, Exeter. Jameson gets a nod in goal by virtue of not being a teenager. Whitehall retains his place at left back. Definitely our 2 weakest positions, I think. Badgett comes in as Feeney's new partner, with Titov slotting in at right back. The midfield is all changed with Kumbaney, Gorman and Wilson. Hines and Maguire take up the flanks, and given his good work last season, Garner starts up front. Now, considering we are away from home and considering they were tipped to finish 3rd, I think the game might not know much about football. Highlights are sparse, with Maguire-Drew's effort the only one of the first half, but in the second we press forward and a move which would clearly suggest a level of gelling falls to Wilson to calmly slot home on his debut. It ends that way for an extremely calm 1-0 win, with Exeter offering nothing at all. We then have Plymouth in the Carabao Cup, which is decidedly winnable, but as it's not a priority and we have a league game a few days either side, I fully rotate and we of course lose, but it's not a disgrace. And it means we are nice and rested for the more important business of Rochdale. After hitting the woodwork a million times, another neat move sees Wilson back his 2nd of the season before Badgett seals it from a corner in injury time for another dominant win. Obviously it's only 2 games, but we're already in the automatic places. Can we continue this against Port Vale? Yes we can. Clinical, calm, compact, composed, all the C's really. Badgett gets another, as finally we seem to have someone capable of scoring from corners, while Garner opens his account for the campaign with a fine finish. I'd say just call it now, we don't need another 43 games. We end the month at home to bottom of the league Walsall for what should be an easy win. And it really should have been, but the game just has other ideas. We utterly dominate from start to finish. Wilson has a goal ruled out, which was extremely tight. We then win a penalty just before the break, which Garner decides to sky. In the second half we have another goal chalked off, as Feeney is very questionably ruled offside, before Nathan Thompson, in for the injured Titov, gives away a moronic penalty which Nibs of course scores. We do at least rescue a point as Badgett is on hand again, but a very big missed opportunity. Given his electric start from both a goal scoring and defensive perspective, there's no surprise to see Elkin Badgett collect August Player of the Month. He somehow though only comes 2nd in the Young Player of the Month. How can you win the main award but not the young one? This literally makes no sense. We meanwhile are forced to settle for 3rd in Manager of the Month. Given Thompson's display last time, I decided to actually participate in deadline day for once and look for some last minute business. Centre back still concerns me beyond Feeney and Badgett, so we pick up Reece Bennett on loan from Oldham for nothing at all. I think he'll do a job if needed. And then, as we've reached a stage whereby players who were released and still haven't found a club have slashed their expectations and wage demands massively, we are able to get Kieran Freeman and Declan John following their release by Portsmouth and Bolton respectively. A massive improvement to our options at both fullback positions, which will hopefully give us the edge in the battle for promotion. The very definition of a squad overhaul. I would quite like to do well in the Papa John's trophy, so we'll be taking it seriously, despite the name. We have the Spurs under-23s first, and John and Freeman come straight in for their debuts. And it's another excellent performance. Maguire-Drew's free kick finds the free scoring Badgett to give us the lead. And that's that. We've conceded 1 goal so far, and it was a penalty. I've gone and just jinxed it now, haven't I? Oh, and just in time for Badgett to go off and play for Indonesia as well. Hopefully some of the players whose intended purpose is to score goals can fill in against Aldershot. And they do. We do concede from open play for the first time and look to be dropping more points, but a fantastic performance from Maguire Drew and an off the bench Ashley Naton who bags a brace sees us seal 3 more points. Good squad depth there with players on international duty and depth needed throughout as we lose Gorman and Freeman to injury within 3 minutes of each other. I haven't actually asked the board for anything yet, and luckily they agree straight away to my first request, allowing me to hire another fitness coach, which might be needed as we play Swindon and it's an absolute disgrace of a display. Gorman and Freeman clearly missed. They score early on, Titov playing them onside. We get a penalty which Nathan converts, but then immediately bin it off as Titov can't defend. Our first defeat of the season and at home as well. A better performance is needed against Notts County, and it's certainly a different performance, an even worse performance. We have no highlights all game and we're lucky it's only 1-0. Some absolutely dreadful ratings. Where has this come from? 2 home defeats and apparently the fans are criticising my negative tactics. It's the same tactics, the players have just played terribly. We slip into the playoff spots. We end the episode at Barrow. Maybe we hate home games. Maybe we hate recorded games. Maybe Dale Gorman is the best midfielder in the world. And yeah, maybe. We win 3-0. How does this make any sense? It doesn't matter how long you play this game for, it still never goes how you expect. Which I suppose makes it as realistic as actual football. Garner gets a brace, we move up to 4th within 3 of Fleetwood up top. And there's still a long way to go. Who knows what lies ahead? The playoffs? Promotion? Relegation? The chairman deciding to move Sixfields to the moon? The possibilities are endless, but almost certainly infuriating. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.